My boyfriend publicly humiliated me and dumped me at dinner. You guys. I'm still trying to process what happened last weekend. My phone blew up with 13 missed calls this morning, and I keep replaying it in my head like maybe I imagined the whole thing. But nope. My maxed out credit card and ice cream stains on my couch confirm it was very real. For context, I had been with Ryan for 2 years. 2 years. Not some casual fling, we had routines. Netflix marathons on Sundays, awkward holiday dinners with both families, even that weird couples yoga class he insisted we try. Spoiler, we both sucked. Things weren't perfect. He left socks everywhere, texted during movies, and made helpful comments about my appearance, like, that shirt makes your arms look bigger, or, have you thought about a different hairstyle? I brushed it off. Naive me. The dinner that changed everything. Last Friday, Ryan texts me about dinner with some work friends. He rarely includes me in his work life, so I was actually excited. I went all out, new outfit, full YouTube-level makeup, the fancy straightener I reserve for special occasions. I was ready. I get to this super expensive downtown restaurant, tiny portions, no prices on the menu, red flag number 1, and Ryan's already there with 2 co-workers, Leonard and Pablo. The moment I walk up, he barely acknowledges me. Just a half stand and a quick, "You're late." I was literally 2 minutes late. I sit down. He looks at my outfit and goes, "Oh, you wore that." Not quietly. His friends exchange a look. My face heats up. I try to laugh it off. He shrugs. They already ordered appetizers. Cool. The hour of pure misery. The next hour is basically Ryan talking about work stuff I don't understand while I get ignored. Whenever I try to contribute, he talks over me or explains why I'm wrong. I mention a customer at my store. He waves dismissively. She doesn't really get how things work in the real business world. Retail isn't a real job. I've been a manager for 3 years. My stomach drops. Then Leonard asks how we met. I start telling the story. Vanessa, my best friend, set us up, but Ryan cuts me off. Yeah, Vanessa felt bad for her. I was doing a favor. Laughs. My stomach literally dropped. Vanessa had warned me about Ryan's ego before setting us up. Spoiler alert, he was not a good guy underneath. I excuse myself to the bathroom to cry quietly and text Vanessa, "UTF is happening." Then I see a notification, Ryan just tagged himself at the restaurant on Instagram with "Boys Night Out." I'm not even in the photo. The bill. And the kick in the teeth. I come back, try to act calm. Waiter brings the main courses. Ryan keeps making jokes about my food choice. I ordered a cheaper pasta because I was already stressed about the bill. Comments like, "Carb loading for a marathon, bold choice for someone with your body type." Each one feels like a tiny paper cut. Then it happens. The bill arrives. Ryan picks it up, and slides it to me. I think he's just showing me the total. Nope. He says, and I will never forget this. "You know what? I don't think this is working. I'm not attracted to you anymore. I think we should break up." In the middle of a restaurant. 2 years. Publicly. His friends are there. I sit frozen. Then the kicker, "A girl like you should be grateful I even dated you this long. You're not exactly a prize." And they leave, all 3 of them laughing. $347 bill for Wagyu appetizers and fancy cocktails. All me. The post-breakup fog. I somehow pay, drive home, and call Vanessa, sobbing. She comes over immediately with ice cream and wine, the real MVP. Between ugly crying and stress-eating cookie dough, I tell her everything. She's livid. Then she drops the bomb, "Sabrina. Ryan isn't who he says he is at work. Turns out, he wasn't some hotshot marketing guy. He was an assistant. All those business trips. Lies. The big presentation he bragged about. He just ran the slides while his boss presented. LinkedIn titles. Fabrications. 2 years of my life supporting someone who didn't exist as I thought he did. Detective mode activated. I scrolled through our texts, photos, every interaction. Inconsistencies everywhere. Comments about money that didn't add up. Times he said he was at work but his location showed him across town. My brain was stuck in a loop. Did this really happen? How did I not see this coming? Then I get a text from a number I don't recognize. Hey, it's Cody from Ryan's office. Vanessa gave me your number. There's stuff you should know. Cue mind explosion. The tea gets hotter. Cody confirms everything. Ryan told everyone he dumped me for being clingy and obsessed with marriage, when in reality I was paying for most of our dates toward the end. That Pinterest board of future home ideas? Ryan made one. Claimed it was for a work project. Cody adds, Ryan's on probation for taking credit for other people's work, might get fired. Late night work sessions were him frantically covering his mistakes. Every business trip fabricated. He lived in a fantasy universe. Then Ryan's mom calls. Tina is sweet and genuinely concerned. Apparently Ryan told his family we had a little fight, everything fine. She even mentions his birthday dinner. He told them I'd be there with big news. I nearly choked. The man publicly humiliated me, dumped me, and left me with a huge bill, and lied to his own family. The plan. Vanessa and I devise a plan. I attend the dinner as invited. No scenes, no vindictiveness. I just let the truth come out naturally. I wouldn't ghost his family, they were always kind to me. The next day, Cody meets me for coffee, confirms even more lies. The team Ryan claimed to lead. Just him and 2 interns. That big presentation. Slides only. Cody genuinely felt bad on my behalf. Current mood. Apartment disaster zone. 7 DoorDash bags. Laundry everywhere. Alternating between ice cream therapy and scrolling through old photos angrily. Every time I think of something funny to text Ryan, I remember the humiliation and it hits all over again. Social media. Avoided like the plague. Then Wednesday morning, I cave. Instagram check. Of course, Ryan posts a gym selfie with the caption, "Level up, know your worth." Audacity. Vanessa comes over again, brings takeout, listens to me rant endlessly without saying, "I told you so," even though she suspected Ryan from the start. She's my hero. Moral of the story. Never let someone turn your life into a fantasy series, while publicly humiliating you, draining your wallet and lying about literally everything. And maybe, always check LinkedIn. Finally having the truth out in the open. I looked around at everyone, Tina, Ralph, Kayla, even the cousins who were now whispering to each other, and said firmly, "I'm grateful that you all know who Ryan really is, because I sure didn't." Ryan's face was red, veins visible on his temple, and he looked like he might actually implode. But the rest of the room? Shock, disbelief, and relief, almost like a weight had been lifted. Tina reached over and patted my hand, whispering, "Thank you for being honest." Ralph just shook his head, muttering, "Unbelievable." Kayla gave me a little smirk and winked. That was all the support I needed. Ryan tried to open his mouth again, but his grandma cut in, "Young man, you need to sit down and think about your actions. No more excuses." His mom added, "We raised you better than this." He sputtered, pointing at me, but the room had collectively tuned him out. Cody leaned over and whispered, "You handled that like a pro." I just nodded, smiling inwardly. This was one of those rare moments where doing the right thing felt absolutely, undeniably satisfying. By the end of the night, the tension had mostly shifted from confrontation to awkward attempts by Ryan to justify himself, which were hilariously ineffective. Tina served cake, everyone laughed a little, and I even managed to enjoy a slice of that famous pot roast dessert while Ryan sulked silently at the table. When I finally left, I walked out knowing that not only had I defended myself, but I had also spared future unsuspecting dates from falling into the same trap. Ryan? Well, he would be explaining himself to his family for a long time. Honestly, I couldn't have scripted a better ending. The next few weeks were an adjustment, if by adjustment you mean watching a grown man slowly implode while society cheered silently from the sidelines. Ryan got fired for ghosting work and sending emails that made HR question their career choices. He moved back in with his parents, which, honestly, is probably the safest place for someone whose hobbies include social media stalking and dramatic meltdowns. Kayla and I kept tabs because, apparently, I enjoy having a front row seat to human disaster. Ryan tried to contact me a few more times, angry, tearful, occasionally nostalgic, but I treated each attempt like a mosquito buzzing near my ear, irritating, unnecessary, and easily squashed. Running into him at Target a month later was peak absurdity. There he was, holding a pack of socks like a man who had given up on adulthood entirely. Our eyes met, and for a terrifying second I half expected a full Shakespearean tragedy to unfold in the cereal aisle. Instead, he turned around and abandoned his socks, leaving them like breadcrumbs for some unsuspecting shopper to wonder about. Honestly, I think we all had a collective sigh of relief. Ryan eventually relocated to his uncle's state, likely to continue his career in chaos elsewhere. Tina still sends me holiday cards, which is sweet if slightly mortifying. Nothing says, "Happy Holidays," like reminders that your son is a cautionary tale. His social media has gone quiet, probably because the universe finally hit the mute button. And me? I'm thriving. My apartment is mine again, free from the lingering stench of lies and bad taste in throw pillows. Even better, I've got an unexpected friendship with Cody, my co-conspirator in surviving the Ryan saga. We're not dating, much to Vanessa's relentless disappointment, but we exchange TikTok horrors and occasional lunch plans. In the end, I'm not just relieved, I'm grateful. Grateful that I saw who he really was before moving in, or worse, giving him my Netflix password.